Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. We're stressed out. Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I
As the defenseman Zaitsev leaned toward the winger, he lost it but gets it back. McCarron shoots and scores! McCarron from a sharp angle. It gets through Anderson, and Mike McCarron's first of the year makes it 5-3 Montreal.
7:38 on TSN 690. It's Weekend Game Plan with Matthew Ross. We're here until 9 o'clock this morning. Back every Saturday and Sunday, 7 to 9 a.m. Matthew Words on Twitter for me, TSN 690 for the station on Twitter. Dave tried to do it here as well. Don't forget Habs Breakfast coming up at 8:05. We'll have Andrew Zadornowski of HabsEyesOnThePrize.com as well as Amanda Stein here in studio chatting about last night's game. Well, the clip was about Michael McCarron, a gentleman who spent a few games or so on the Rock the last couple of years, and we're going to chat about him and many, many, many of the other players who've been up with the Habs from the IceCaps with our next guest. He is the sports editor at the St. John's Telegram, also a member of the broadcast team of the IceCaps. We welcome back to the show Robin Short. Hey, Robin, how you doing?
Hey, Matthew. How's it going, buddy?
Very well, thank you. We always like to get a weather check. What's it like out there today?
Oh, my Lord. That's I just came in from scraping the car window. We've got snow and ice pellets, and it's just an awful old morning. It's one of those. It's a mild ice storm, I guess you might say.
Well, we got just the cold here, but something like minus 23 overnight, and
oh, really?
I had to scrape the inside and the outside of my windshield. So.
Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't complain so much.
Now, Robin, it's been, I'm sure, a busy year covering the IceCaps for you guys. Just incredible amount of activity happening there. I saw a stat that they've used something like 30 players in the last 10 games alone.
It's unbelievable.
What's that been like?
Matthew, it's unbelievable. You know, I was talking to Sylvain Lefebvre the other day, and I said to him, and I wasn't trying to be funny. I was dead serious. I said, Sylvain, I'm losing track here. So, I'm waking up every day, and I'm wondering, okay, now, who's with the team, who's in Montreal, who's sent back, because it's just never ending. Sven Andrighetto, I mean, how many times? I don't know. If you ask me how many times has he been reassigned and recalled to Montreal, geez, I don't know. I mean, it's just incredible. But the IceCaps had a nice showing in Toronto last night, eh?
They did, and in fact, to a reporter, Marc Bergevin called them the Montreal IceCaps. So
yeah,
it's been that kind of year. But how happy were you to see Nikita Scherbak get a goal last night in his first NHL game?
I know, wasn't that? So it's great to see. He's a good kid. He's just a real nice kid. He's always got a smile on his face, and he kind of got that little mischievous grin all the time, eh? Boy, I tell you what, he's really come along since last season. He was just 19 last year, and it showed in the way he played. He at times, Matthew, to be honest with you, he looked totally lost out there. There were times last year when he looked like he didn't have a clue how to play the game. I'm not that's not talking about his skills or his ability to play the game, but in terms of how the game is played, if you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And there's a marked improvement this year. I still don't think he's NHL ready. To be quite truthful with you, I think that another the rest of this season and maybe even a little bit next year of some seasoning, because he's still 20, turning 21, I think, or if he's not 21, he soon will be. I just think he just needs another little bit of seasoning. He's one of these guys. He's a bit of a late bloomer. But Matthew, boy, does this guy have skill. He's got a ton of skill. Great skater, big time shot. And, it was nice to see him get a goal last night. It was great to see. But I really think that Montreal should be wary of rushing him along. I really think that he needs he needs to take baby steps. And, it's just been a natural – he has not once, a step back. It's just been a constant improvement with Scherbak.
Chatting with Robin Short from the St. John's Telegram here on Weekend Game Plan with Matthew Ross, trying to keep track of everything that's going on between Montreal and the IceCaps, back and forth with some of these players. What about the signing of Michael McCarron's brother? What's that been like in terms of news or tidbits down there?
Well, it's interesting, I guess, given the fact that he is McCarron's brother, and boy, I'm not so sure if we're going to see McCarron back here. He's playing pretty good, of course, scoring last night. The thing with McCarron, he got off to a horrible start this year. It just wasn't, pucks weren't going in for him. But what I liked about McCarron was the fact that he was doing so many other things, that were keeping him in the lineup, keeping him getting lots of ice time, using that big body. He's a great face-off guy. And he was good on the power play, putting the big body in front of the net, using his size. And I really don't think that we're going to see McCarron back. So, John McCarron, I don't think we'll need to worry about finding a place to stay.
Right.
I have a funny feeling he's going to be moving in Mike's old place.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What about see, a lot of the Habs fans, they're well aware of some of the call-ups because either they're like Andrew Ghetto, they've been up here before, or they're somewhat touted like a Scherbak. But what about Johnston, the diminutive defenseman who's been with the Habs? And in fact, Michel Therrien has kept him in the lineup instead of a Zach Redmond, for example, right? So what is it about this guy that you think he likes, perhaps?
Oh boy, you know what? He's a great puck mover. Johnston can certainly move the puck. When he was in college, he put up some points, and I would imagine when he was playing NCAA, he was a bit of a power play quarterback. He's got great offensive instincts, great skater. He's not going to put a guy up in the fifth row, that's for sure, because he's only small. To be perfectly honest with you, Matthew, Johnston, he had his moments earlier this season. If you had asked me, who would be recalled from St. John's, from the defense corps, Ryan Johnson wouldn't have been at the top of my list, not even close. But obviously Montreal sees something in him. He's got great skill. There's no question about it. As I said, he certainly has NHL wheels. But I guess they like the way he just moves the puck. He's got a great outlet pass. And I sent out a tweet the other day, to all the kids who think they're too small to play pro hockey, I give you Exhibit A, Ryan Johnston. As a defenseman, no less. It's one thing. We've seen people like Paul Byron, in the forward lines, but to see a smallish defenseman, and believe me, he is small, as you know.
Yep.
He's not very big, but he's fitting in. He doesn't look tremendously out of place. I know if I'm Zach Redmond, I got to be. If I'm Zach Redmond, I'm not too happy.
We're just wrapping up with Robin Short of the St. John's Telegram here on Weekend Game Plan with Matthew Ross. We got to run, but I wanted to ask you, and I wanted you to tell the listeners how good and how much the fans out there are appreciating what Charlie Lindgren is doing right now with the IceCaps and Nets. Oh boy! I tell you what, and especially now, Matthew, because the IceCaps roster is pretty thin. Let's call it a spade. It's pretty thin. They've signed 4 guys, 4 East Coast hockey ECHL players just on Thursday. With the recalls. But the one constant in that the IceCaps have is Charlie Lindgren, and he's playing very, very well. All of a sudden, boy, doesn't Montreal's goaltending depth chart look pretty good? Given the way Lindgren was playing this year, and given Zach Fucale's play at the Spengler Cup. Mm-hmm. You might want to think that one of those guys, I don't know who, and I'm certainly not speculating, I'm just throwing it out there, that maybe one of those guys could be trade bait. But I tell you what, Lindgren is the real deal, Matthew. He really is. He's great size, very athletic, unflappable. Nothing bothers the guy. And, he just continues to stop pucks. He's been doing it since day one. And he's the one constant that the IceCaps have right now. And
And right now, with all those players in Montreal, Lindgren's been a blessing to St. John's.
He is Robin Short from the St. John's Telegram and IceCaps broadcasts. You can follow him on Twitter at TellyRobinShort. Robin, thank you as always for your time, and I'll let you get back to scraping the car.
All right, Matthew. Listen, thanks a million. We'll talk later.